white collar, blue collar.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. What's your official title? I want to make sure I get it right.
For Trump, I founded it.
Founder of Biker for Trump. So I'm here with Chris Cox, founder of Bikers for Trump. It's a pleasure to have you on Money Talk with Melanie here at CPAC 2019. Are you enjoying the experience? Is it your first time at CPAC or no?
No, I actually grew up right across the Potomac River there. I've been here several times, and last year was my first time here in an official capacity, and certainly see the value here as to who's who of Republican politics here throughout the country. I've met a lot of people that are here in the midterms. You know, everyone wants to talk about the 2016 election, but we actually helped raise that bar and move that needle during the midterms as well. And many from North Dakota to Ohio, Florida, Missouri, you name it. We have our hands on that.
Excellent. So, Bikers for what made you think of the idea of starting a group especially for bikers? Was it because of the number of bikers that you knew? Was it because of your...
Well, bikers have always been an untapped resource. Never before have they been identified as a demographic during a presidential campaign race. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, they're alpha males, they're alpha females, they're outspoken. But it took a candidate like Donald Trump who tells it like it is, he wears it on his sleeve, and he doesn't mix his words. And right out the gate, it was very, very popular with the biker community.
And you know, in this, as a brown person, and in this world of politics, I know I hate to use it. So a friend of ours is laughing when I say a brown, but I am a brown person. Black is a different color.
I have a brown brother.
You have a brown brother.
He was 10 years old.
Yes. Well, as a brown person, I find the weapon of identity politics to be a problem, and so I'm intrigued by you identifying bikers as a demographic that should reach out politically and have some power politically. And in fact, I would argue that if we found more commonalities like that, the commonalities like that make more sense than color commonalities do. Because you can't really say that people of the same color share the same interests, like biking, for example.
Sure. Well, you know, we came out the gate, within 3 months we were considered a political phenomenon. According to some people I've talked to in the White House, we made more public relations in 2016 than anyone except the president and his family. So, you know, the bikers having never been identified before, it was kind of like the sweethearts of the media because they had barrel-chested tattooed bikers out there and they weren't used to seeing them. So just exactly how long that lasts remains to be seen, but we are growing by leaps and bounds. Last week we grew about 3,000 members. So we'll continue to play a role in picking conservative leadership for the presidential campaigns for many years after I'm gone.
I love it. I love that so very much. So what are your plans for, we're past the midterms, we're going on to 2020. What are your plans in the role of your organization looking forward to 2020?
Well, we do not slow down. We have a rally on Sunday in Eagle Pass, Texas with the Oath Keepers, and we'll be having a human wall there in order to support the president and his efforts with this national security issue here. And, you know, I threw a rally 2 weeks ago in Texas with all Mexican Americans and Latin Americans. And when I got there, you know, my consensus was that they were all against the wall, but the majority that I spoke with were for the wall. They want you to go through the proper channels. They want you to have the credentials to get in here. They don't want you coming over the border. They certainly don't want you bringing drugs over here and human trafficking. We did some aerial recon there 2 weeks ago, and I was able to see firsthand exactly how narrow the Rio Grande gets. And when it's a little wider, it's not very deep. You could cross over in some places by just getting your knees wet, maybe your waist. So we also identified that within 100 yards of coming across the Eagle Pass, there are neighborhoods there. And according to our guide, a lot of those houses were safe houses. So when they come over, they go into a safe house. Now the law enforcement has to go through proper channels and get a search warrant. By the time they do that, they are dismissed. They're going across the country. And another interesting fact that in Eagle Pass, Texas, 20,000 residents, 14 banks, okay, for 20,000 people. That's really unacceptable. The locals there want to know why they have so many banks. And the popular opinion is that there's money being laundered and cleaned from across the country. It gets right there within 200 yards of the border, and it's going into Mexico. And so, there's a lot of concerns there. When we look at the bigger picture, if we just use the numbers from 9/11 to 2015, 81,125 American citizens were killed by illegal immigrants. That's enough people to almost fill up the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Now, to put it in perspective, if we take Iraq and Iran and we put them together, a little over 5,000 soldiers were killed. So when you look at the 5,000 to the 81,000, you can see that we certainly have an invasion here that we just really got to have to put America first. We got to fortify our boundaries. We have to continue to stay passionate to people who want to come to this country, but the ones who want to come over here the proper way, the ones who want to raise their families here, embrace our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, the ones that see the value in being neighborly, that stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, that can find a church of their choice that they choose. And, we just got a lot of work to do here, and we support the president 100%.
I absolutely love that. The last thing I want to ask you is, what is it that you would like the audience to know about bikers? I feel like there's a lot of stigma attached to biking and bikers, and when you think of bikers, you don't think Republican political organization, and I think that's because of stereotyping.
Well,
so what would you like us to know about that?
About 9 out of 10 bikers are for President Trump. And so when you look at a barrel-chested, bearded, tattooed biker coming at you, chances are he might be one of the nicest guys you talk to. The bikers collectively raise more money for charities across the country than the Red Cross and all of them put together. Every weekend, even in August, there are toy runs trying to get gifts for children and inner city children, blacks, whites, browns, Chinese, you name it. They're raising money to put roofs on houses for veterans or transmissions in their cars. And it's just a really good group. I couldn't be more proud of the people that I've met. And, just don't let Hollywood influence you. The bikers aren't Hell's Angels. They're not sons of anarchy. These are blue collar, and the backbone of the biker community are veterans, and they will take the shirt off their back for you. And I just can't say enough about them.
So what I hear you saying is, like any other group that gets stereotyped, you guys get stereotyped too, and you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a whole organization of bikers by one biker. It's the same thing everywhere.
Yeah, you're so right there. And it should be a lesson on not only bikers or Latinos or browns or blacks or Jews. In America, we've got to take that high ground, okay? And so the reason the Bikers for Trump have had so much success is because we don't point fingers. We hold out our hands. We don't moan and gripe about problems. We look for solutions. And by holding that high ground, it makes it really hard for anybody to criticize us.
I love it. That's fantastic. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for doing this quick interview with me on Money Talk with Melanie. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Cox, founder of Bikers for Trump. And thank you so much for helping out the cause. I appreciate you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.